problem above, or actually on the other page in our case. The remaining 3/8 of the gym floor was separated equally into 5 sections for seating. How large was each section? So 5/8 was the stage. 3/8 is what they're going to use for the chairs, which is going to be divided into 5 sections. It'll be 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So little chairs there. Those are ugly looking chairs. All right, so let's see. How are we going to figure out how much space this would be? How much space did we have all together? How big is the stage? All of this stage together is how much? How many square feet? Natalie? So it's 610 square feet. How much space is this part of the stage? You just figured that one out, Connor.
95, 5, 6, 16.
The whole thing. That would be for each individual part. The whole stage. This 5/8 of the stage, before we divided it, for the 4 bands, how much space was there? Oliver? Good. It's 381 1/4. So how are we going to figure out how much space this part of the stage is? If we have 381 1/4 square feet here, what is, I'm going to put an X there, that'll be a variable there. What would the value of X be? If we know that the whole stage is 610 square feet, how are we going to solve that problem? Nikki?
Well, you have to subtract because
Yeah.
you have to figure out what plus what equals 610.
Good, we're going to subtract because you have to figure out what plus what here is going to give you 610. So 610 take away 381 1/4. And that's going to tell you the space that you have here to set up the chairs. Oh, you can't have nothing here and subtract 1/4. Do you remember what we do, Bonnie?
You take away from, since there's no number in the 10, you take away from the 1.
All right, so I'm going to borrow here. I'm going to borrow. All right, so and that'll become a,
That will become 0.
and this will become a 10.
10.
So now can I borrow one?
Yeah, and then you make that into a 9, and then you just do like, since it will be easier, just make it like 4/4 so it has the same denominator.
Excellent. So we have to borrow 1, and we're going to disguise it as a fraction, as 4/4, exactly like what you said, because we have to have the same denominator. Go ahead. 4/4 minus 1/4.
It's 3/4, and then try to do it.
Yep. 9 take away 1.
8.
0 take away 8.
You can't do it. So you take 1 away from 6, and then you make the 0 a 10. And then 10 minus 8 equals 2. 5 minus 3 equals 2.
All right, so we have 228 3/4 square feet is the size of this stage right here where you're going to put the chairs. All right, so Emma, if we have this part of the stage here is 228 3/4 square feet, and we have to divide that into 5 sections, what problem am I going to write here? What equation can I write?
228 3/4 divided by.
Good. So I have 228 3/4 square feet divided by 5 sections. So I want to figure out then how much space that will be for each section. How large is each section? All right, so Faye, I can't work with a mixed number here. I have to turn this into an improper fraction. How am I going to do it?
228 times 4 equals 912 plus 3 915.
Okay, so let's just double check to make sure. Okay, so 228 times 4, you said equals what?
912.
912 plus 3? 915. Good. What am I going to do with this division sign? Brian. That's the division sign. Doesn't look like it anymore. Good. I'm going to change it to a multiplication sign. What am I going to do with this 5? Matt, you?
You're going to flip it, make it 1/5.
Make it 1/5. Oh, good. This is going to be easy. I can cross multiply. Looking at that with the divisibility rules, what can I use to divide evenly into both numbers? Grace?
5.
5. Good. 5 can go into itself how many times?
4.
Once. You can use your calculator here to do 915 divided by 5. And what would that be? Fine?
915 divided by 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You calculator. All right, so Bonnie, 915 divided by 5 is?
183.
Good, 183. And 183 times 1 is?
183.
Is 183. Good. And then 183, I've forgotten to put my denominator here. There we go. 915 over 4. Now 183 and 4 times 1 is?
4.
4. Good. Now we have to divide. Why do I always have to divide? Way over here where there's no space. So we have 183 divided by 4. So here we go. Let me change the markers because we're really crunched for space here. How many 4s are in 1? Right. How many 4s are in 18?
4.
4. 4 times 4 is?
16.
I'm going to subtract. 8 take away 6 is 2. 1 take away 1 is nothing, right? I'm going to bring down the 3. How many 4s are in 23?
5.
Good. 5. So 45 there. 20. So, and we have a remainder of 3, so the answer is 45
And 3/4.
and 3/4. And I really am out of room here. Sorry for this confusing. So 45 and 3/4 square feet.
Is this a test or quiz? What's it on?
So each section of this stage, you have your 5 rows here, it's going to be 45 and 3/4 square feet.